You're not alone in this, and you're definitely not crazy. There's a surplus of people trying to become DJs. It's like everyone decided to jump headfirst, bringing their USBs and vintage corded headphones with them everywhere they go. Then you have social media buzzing with all kinds of videos of people trying to make it big. It's non-stop content. All ages, all sizes, all walks of life. Yet the craze is real, so real that even Fisher-Price joined in on the fun by introducing its very own setup for aspiring toddlers. And I low-key want one, not gonna lie. But when you add status and fame into the mix, things only get more complicated. This DJ thing has been marinating for years, maybe even decades, and looking back, there might even be clues as to what this is all about. So what's going on? Why is everyone a DJ now? And who will survive? Turns out, the answer depends on who's playing the right game. Everywhere I turn, restaurants, cafes, airports, grocery stores, there's some kind of rave going on. Did I mention grocery stores? And while the scene should always embrace newcomers because who doesn't want new talent, it's reaching a point of oversaturation. People are literally dropping their current lives for this juicy craft, making it seem like the number of bedroom DJs has quadrupled overnight. But what's insane about this is that it's just not Timmy from down the street or your local performative male. The wave is spreading through celebrities, influencers, bankers, and even drag queens. Dance music is for sure entering a new stage. People used to buy tickets because of the festival or the experience, but now it's the name that can draw the largest crowds, the brand that has the largest appeal. That in itself is changing the whole industry, pressuring many artists to perform while their priorities begin to shift. But don't take my word for it. It's actually something that a sister industry has already gone through. Let's rewind a bit and go back in time to the 1970s. Disco was just starting to make waves. Nixon was on the verge of resigning and the Vietnam War was drawing to a close. But another cultural phenomenon was brewing. Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Journey, Queen. Rock music was starting to dominate the airwaves, and with it came the admiration. It took a few years to break it to the mainstream, but once the seal was broken, it ignited a widespread cultural fascination. Not only was the music fresh and enigmatic, taking you into a complete sonic experience, it also symbolized youth, freedom, and defiance. It had an edge. Their shows really embraced showmanship. Costumes with all kinds of pyrotechnics, giving the audience a full, immersive spectacle. And the lead singers? They had become the face of the entire movement. Their style was so captivating that fashion designers started taking notice, and with their larger-than-life personalities, they started seducing men and women alike. They gave people an outlet for self-expression. Suddenly, there was permission to be your very own authentic self. Yet, wherever they went, they started to get the red carpet treatment. Private jets, unlimited caviar, and all the girls they could wish for. To some, they had ascended to a godlike status, and soon, many people wanted to reach their level. These people either started dancing in their parents' garage, tried getting gigs at their local bars, or talked constantly about their new band to anyone willing to listen. All in the name of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They too would one day achieve that same level of fame and fortune. If their idols had made it, then why not them? But that's when things started getting murky. People began to chase the glamorized lifestyle, visualizing themselves as the next Mick Jagger, and not precisely for his musical talent, but for his status. Soon, many cities around the world saw an increase in local rock bands. Being a superstar was in. But what happened when rock music started phasing out? Well, a new kid in town came in and took its place. Before you knew it, everyone now focused on the rise of the MTV video star. And those with a couple of synths and a homemade music video could maybe turn their life around. Once the 80s were over, the 90s saw two new scenes emerge, the rappers and the grunge artists. And then the 2000s brought in punk rock with Green Day and Avril Lavigne. But don't get me started with the whole clean-cut pop star phenomenon. Contests about who was going to become the next global pop sensation became the most viewed shows on primetime. But what happened in the next decade? Well, the 2010s saw the likes of MGMT, Vampire Weekend, and the Arctic Monkeys. Being an indie artist became the ultimate go-to. Yet, with time, hipster culture slowly died out in favor of a new electric sound, and being seen at overcrowded venues became the ultimate status symbol. The 2020s came in with a desperate need for socializing after the world had been on pause. And with it came the age of the DJ. Believe it or not, it's been a long time coming. It was as far back as 2003 when fame started being tied to DJing. David Guetta had just released his very own album titled Fuck Me I'm Famous. He really wasn't trying to be implicit at all. And with a smaller barrier to entry, because basically all you need is a laptop and some mixing software, more people feel incentivized to start learning how to make transitions in the comfort of their own home. Regardless, it's like the start of every decade has its very own reset button. A sonic movement fades in order to give way to the next musical generation. And in a blink of an eye, what once used to be this grassroots, community-driven subculture peaked and fell into the abyss. Mostly because the scene lost track of what was really important. You've seen them all. The DJs with their lavish lifestyles, the party scene, the penthouses. It's a full-blown hedonistic machine with all the fame and status delivered right on tap. But then there's the spectacle component, which has also become the baseline for many DJ acts. It's about the biggest lasers, the best graphics, the flowiest dancing, the most impressive entrance, the snappiest choreography. The list goes on and on. But that's what it looks like from the outside. Truth is, the DJ lifestyle is not even that glamorous. You literally have to work while everybody else gets to go all out. And for most of the time, you'll be jet lagged, dehydrated, and overworked. Being a DJ can get very lonely. Heck, any person who is successful in their field for that matter. It's that 4 a.m. crisis, wondering if you're even doing anything right. I see it in my own path. Many people want to become YouTubers. It's like the most attractive career for kids right now. Those with the most views and the most praise can seem as the most successful. And then you have podcasting, which is also seeing a similar fate. Amy Poehler now has one, the Kelsey brothers just started theirs. People who start filming their own conversations just assume that somebody will eventually care what they have to say. But what they fail to see is that the podcasts are not about themselves. It's about their guest, followed by their ability to listen and ask the best questions to let that person shine. DJing goes in a similar vein. The preparation itself before the set can be boring and repetitive, and the actual highs might only come by once you're performing in front of people. The ravers dance into your music, which in the end, it's the one thing that matters. It all comes down to the service over ego debacle. Those willing to take care of their audience and transport them to another world are the ones who rise to the top. The DJs who free people of their worries. The ones who inspire. The ones that actually make you stomp your feet. And while I'm not hating on those trying to entertain their audience or bring even more visual elements to their act, many DJs are losing the main point. The music. When performance becomes a priority and music is placed as an afterthought, that's when all things fail. It just feels like an empty venture that desperately wants to craft the perfect personal brand. Instead of just curating the best musical journey they can. It just doesn't seem sustainable, nor does it align with what dance music is truly about. Right now, it's about becoming a DJ, but as the next generation takes over, a new career option will emerge and everybody will move on. A new North Star for those chasing fame instead of craft will be crowned. Meanwhile, the ones who outlast the noise are the ones who create moments for others. That's always been the game. Most people just don't realize they're playing it wrong. With so many moving parts, the DJ scene has yet to reach maturity. Some projects succeed, some fail, while others are stuck in a weird limbo. Such is the case of Boiler Room. What once started as a very promising collective giving artists a platform to showcase their talent, with time, it began to lose its footing with the underground scene it used to support. Click here if you want to see what really happened. My name is Chris, and if you'd like to support me directly, join as a channel member or click the Patreon link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.
What the fuck do DJs actually do?